Hey, it's Arrow, and this is Defrag, asking the questions and then questioning the answers. We think we've got all the answers. We Google it. We go to Yahoo. We go to Bing. There they are. There are those answers, right? We all think that we are the doctor that can fix everything, or we try to fix everything, including our refrigerators and dryers and washing machines. And yeah. Well, guess what? We're not asking the right questions, and we're not questioning the right answers. This is Defrag. I do a Defrag podcast while we're in a transition walk, and that is we're walking through a forest. So the reason why I do that is because I'm out here in the universe of Mother Nature. You can hear the birds in the background. I can see the beautiful lake to my right, the tall leafless trees because it's January. And, a little bit of the grass, it's still green. People have planted for the new season. There's so much going on out here. But I never get to really look at what's going on inside of me. What does my landscape look like? Is it winter every day? So the thing is you question the questions, and then you question. So the thing is that you ask the questions, and then you question the answers. That's what I call defragging. And today's subject is very interesting in the way that while writing my morning journal, it occurred to me. I always say that I live in the presence of right now. I am present in my right now, which is something that I picked up becoming a third-degree black belt in martial arts while also studying meditation, Buddhism, and other forms of spiritual growth. It was always about be mindful of your present. Live in the presence of now. But this morning, I asked the question, where is the now? How do you get to the now? More importantly, is it difficult for others to also live in their present? Here's what I dug up. And you know me. I like to research. I love to dig in. The human mind doesn't believe in the presence of now. It doesn't. And the reason being is because while thinking about it, that thought is now your past. Now that you know that you're in the past, but I'm supposed to be in the present, you think about it again, and all of a sudden what you were thinking about in that millisecond is now your past. And so your mind is telling the rest of you there's no such thing as the present. But there is. This walk in this forest, this walk I call a transition walk, because I do go through many mindsets and mood swings because I'm a creative. It's who I am. It's taken me years to understand that, you know what? You ain't going to change. So let's go ahead and make a friendship connection with whoever is living inside of you. If the mind doesn't believe in living in the presence of if the mind doesn't believe in living in the presence of right now, then what do we mean when we say that we are mindful of this moment, that I am grateful for this moment? There are so many challenges that are going on around us at all times. And part of those challenges are the struggles with, I don't want to change. I don't want to find myself at a different job because I'm comfortable at this job. It doesn't matter how badly they're treating me. I'm comfortable because they don't mess around with my hours. And, insurance, yeah, I got some insurance. I'm okay. But yet, the universe is calling upon you to change, to grow, to get beyond your stale self. But what happens is we live so far into our past that we think, well, I was okay back then. I was perfectly fine. Sure, I had a few struggles here and there. But if I put my focus on what is right now, and that means building into a future that is still unknown, no, because it's going to take away from my past. And I happen to like my past. Do you? Come on. Have an ear-to-ear conversation with me here, okay? Really? Is that past really as great as what you say it is? Is it that your mind has rewritten the story so many times that it only feels like it's a better time? Be honest with yourself here. I'd like to share a little bit of a background with you. When I re-entered the church scene in 2010. And I'll bet you it had a lot to do with my heart attack, that I was going through a mental change in life. I wasn't questioning what had happened to me, but rather, you know what, you try to get in touch with, wow, maybe there's a deeper purpose as to why things happen. Well, as I stepped back within those four walls, my wife and I were doing church sermons, 2 a day on Sundays. We would drive in uptown Charlotte to 2 different locations at 2 different times and get our God on. And then we would go and serve lunch to the homeless. And, and I thought, well, that's it, man. That's my calling. And then it got stronger and stronger, this need to be with people. And so when I say that I go through transitions, what you are right now is a series of transitions. Do I do church 2 times on Sundays? Do I do church 2 times on Sundays anymore? No, because I see church as a different point of view and direction. Church to me is community. You don't need 4 walls around you in order to have your church. When I went to CES, it was because I prayed every day, and I'm not going to get religious on you here. I prayed every day, though, okay, that I really wanted to get involved with the church because I thought the church could give me that joy, that glory, that victory that I wasn't getting from terrestrial radio. No matter how hard I worked at what I was doing, there was no payoff anywhere, and I thought, I got to get into a church. Because I'm a daily writer, the subject of church has come up a lot. And because I've had a great teacher, Pastor Furtick, and through his weekly lessons, you learn inside your heart that church is more than just the 4 walls. What they do with their e-groups and Love Week and things like this, it was all about community. And through my transitions and understanding my transitions, and like Furtick said today, that we are not taught to learn from our transitions. And I just wanted to look out at him and say, no, I do transition walks every day. I defrag, I journalize. I'm really learning how to do this. But I thought, maybe that message wasn't for me today, but rather somebody else who might pick up on this and say, oh, a transition walk. We go there to learn. We go there to hear what's moving around us. And so what happened is, in 2020, when we lost our movie promotions jobs, our mobile DJ jobs because of the COVID lockdown, we lost everything. I asked God again. I think more than ever, Lord, I think more than ever, you need me in a church. And the more that I did research, the more I saw the churches were closed. They were having church, but it was on the web. So in going through these transitions, and I've got the journals, I've got the defrag journals, I've got the daily journals, the battles within, where I was sharply questioning God. And I'm going to be very honest with you here, okay? Very transparent. Many times in my writing, I said, God, where are you? Because I was scared. I was really nervous about the presentation of this thing called COVID that nobody knew anything about. It was taking over the world. We were powerless. And I kept asking in that daily writing, God, where are you? Where are you, God? These creative people, musicians, authors, the conversations continued on the podcast, and I would bring up COVID, and it would piss them off. And that's the reason why I created the podcast, Play It Forward, because I wanted to create a podcast that really showed that the artist was playing it forward. They weren't going to let something like this stop. They weren't going to let something like this stop them. And that's the reason why that podcast still exists today. I may not bring up COVID, but I learned about other creative people. That no matter how tough the road is, which we never hear about it, because they don't share it. They don't share it. They don't teach us through their transitions. So we have to learn on our own by listening. Therefore, when we go through our transitions, the goal is to learn. So I kept asking God, where are you? Where are you? And then one day in my daily writing, the words are still there on that page. The words are still there on that page. I am here. Where are you? That's what's on the page. That moment changed my transition. And I went back to it again. God, you got to put me in a church. God, you got to put me in a church. You know where God put me? In a church. A grocery store. where every day I am with the community, and every day I write about the transitions. Every day I learn from other real people. Every day I hear the struggles. Every day I'm in a situation that would probably be found inside the four walls of a church. But the difference is, every day there are people I have not met yet. And when we have a conversation, every day there's a transition. Being mindful of your presence of now. Your mind may not believe in it, but your heart will. I'm Errol, and that's Deep Rag.